Hello and welcome, Java with James, episode, I don't know. Marco Andretti joins us. Hello.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Doing great.
Are you?
I am, yeah.
Because you're like working for the what? Well, no, hang on a minute. You were just making this joke. You're like, well, I only work 2 weeks a year, so, you know. But you are doing more now than, like, you've done, like, maybe ever.
Yeah, we have a 21 race ARCA and truck deal.
Right. Plus Indy.
Plus Indy, yeah.
So, yeah.
I have 5 in a row after Indy. We're home for 3 days.
You've never done a 22 race IndyCar season.
Yeah, it's true.
So you're busier than ever.
I am, yeah, but it feels good. I like to try to diversify and, you know, see what I can do in different types of racing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get too far into that, we have to obviously start with this. What did you go with today? Look, I'm going to assume you don't watch the series, which is fine.
I do.
What's your favorite episode?
You don't even know what number this is, so I'm not going to answer that.
I'm not asking numbers. I'm asking people. I can tell you everybody.
Well, I like episode 3. Exactly.
I remember who that was. No, I don't know. Ah, touche, salesman, touche. Okay, so I hate coffee, as you know. I mean,
Yes.
you know more about me than most people know about me.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
And you've been with me on mornings where most people would need a coffee, but I still won't do it.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. So what are you drinking / what am I drinking?
I'm always just black coffee with like 2 flavored creamers, French vanilla.
Doesn't black coffee mean no milk?
Coffee with 2 creamers. I know how this is going to go.
This is not good for either of us. Okay, I can taste the, you say it's French vanilla creamers? Yeah, I can taste the French vanilla. It's a nice subtle sort of hue on the palate just after the sweaty garbage flavor.
You love coffee.
It's the worst. I don't know how you guys do this.
We need it. You don't.
It's true.
Yeah. You need the opposite of coffee.
So here's actually a funny story. It's a long week up in the broadcast. This isn't about me. I'm sorry, but I gotta tell the story. And when you're on your like 6th day in a row of 8 straight hours talking about cars going around in circles, at some point midday, I think it was on Saturday, I was struggling, and I walked by an espresso machine, and I was like, well, it's supposed to make you wake up a little. So I had a double espresso, and you can ask the guys in the booth. Dude, I was doing jumping jacks.
Oh,
in
the
the booth.
opposite.
I had the headset on, and I was literally doing jumping jacks. I was so excited to get qualifying. And all of my coworkers have instructed I never to drink espresso again before going on the job. So
I think that we had the same discussion, yeah. But here we are.
You've told me many times that I probably shouldn't do it. Yeah. Well, okay. Obviously, we are here at the Speedway. I don't know why that's obvious to you. We're in the tent. Could be anywhere. We're actually in a shop in Idaho. This is all a set, just like the moon landing. Totally fake. This is what, your 20th start?
19.
19th start?
Yeah.
How many does Mario have?
29.
You're only 37 years old.
It's attainable.
Do you want to? Does that matter?
I want to figure out how to make it more competitive than it's been the last 3 years. We were on pole a few years ago, but
2020.
I want to figure out how to, be like right up there with where we need to be. So, if that's the case, then I'm going to keep swinging until we have sponsors to allow us to go do this. So, yes, I mean, I'm as hungry as ever. These cars have become so difficult to drive. You have to drive them so uncomfortable to be fast. Back in our day, we're used to literally finding a comfortable back end where you can really turn. Like, it's just not attainable anymore. So, so much that I'm having to adjust to be fast, and but I'm working really hard at it. So, no, I mean, I'll be here at least a couple more years.
So you don't care about that number. You're not like aiming for it.
I mean, I'd rather go for other records. You know what I mean? So
fair.
Yeah.
Is it a situation where if you get that win, you're good and you'll stop? Or is it like you're obviously still competitive. We say you win it this year, you win it next year. Like, are you going to go out on top, or are you going to be like, well, no, I'm going to keep going until I don't feel like I'm competitive?
I feel like it'd be an awesome problem to have, but that's why I haven't really let myself think about that. But if I'm contracted, and then we'll finish it out, So, and I'm not just going to say, sorry, sponsors, I'm out. Like, it's, we'll see it through, but that'd be a good problem to have.
It'd be a good problem to have. So you stepped away from full-time IndyCar at the end of 2020?
Yep.
And kind of took a few quieter years. We talked about just a second ago your crazy schedule now. What was kind of keeping you busy in those first couple of years, stepping away from IndyCar, and what then made you, like, I know you did SRX and won yourself a championship there, 6 races a year, not a huge schedule. So you went from this kind of like more relaxed, enjoying your time, to, you know what, I'm going to do more than I've ever done in 1 year. Let's do that.
I think I needed to feel that, right? Like, I think I needed to, like, I'm done watching these races. I want to be in them, because I watch all different types of racing. And so I wanted to definitely swing at the stock car thing, which is what I'm doing this year. To really sit down at the end of the year to be like, all right, is this really something I'm going to go after or not? And because 7 races a year, 8 weekends wasn't enough, So, I'm happy with what we got going now.
Did you feel that immediately? Like, would you have wanted to do that in 21?
No,
or is it just like you were enjoying it at first, and then after, like, taking it, because you did IndyCar for a long time.
Right.
You started younger than most people.
Right, yeah, so it's a good question, because I think like if this opportunity came about, I don't know if I would have dove right into it right away.
Right.
So I kind of needed to have that, and honestly, probably 1 year, is all I needed to feel, like, what does it actually feel like? And, I have other businesses and stuff, but that's not, I have people running that. I don't want to be the micromanager because I'm bored type of thing. So I'm
like, oh God, Marco's in the office today. This is going to suck.
Exactly. So, you have to trust those people to run that. And then because we won SRX, again, some, very, very talented guys, I know it's different types of tracks and stuff. It made me like, okay, let me just see what we got in the stock car world. And, right now I think, unfortunately, with some of the factory teams, I think our ceiling is like a 7th range, and so we're running right around that. So with attrition, we could be better. The road courses, I think we could be very good. So we have 4 in a row right after. I think we go Portland, Sonoma, Iowa, Mid-Ohio. We're home for 3 days, and we get right back after it. So, but I love it. I think that's it's not a grind when you're having fun, right? So,
Right. Are those weekends a lot different than like an IndyCar weekend?
that's the other thing. It's I'm not on the Cup side yet, so what I'm doing is kind of 1-day shows. So you're kind of in and out from that standpoint. So it's not as grueling. You come to a long weekend, you're there Thursday till Sunday. So it's
You come here and you're here for like 2.5 weeks.
Exactly, yeah.
Every day doing something.
Which feels like way more than 2.5 weeks by the time it's done. But yeah.
Does the stress of this place ever get to you? Like, we're having this conversation the day after pole day / bump day, right? And you were a Saturday qualifier safely in the show that first round of qualifying, but you sit back and you watch one of your teammates, Marcus Ericsson, in that last row shootout.
Yeah.
One of the other teammates, Colton Herta, just missed getting him to the top 12, but you had Kyle Kirkwood in there. So you're kind of supporting people on both ends of that spectrum, and the emotion and the stress level from both sides, right? It's almost as much stress going for pole as it is just trying to make it in the show. Does that ever kind of get to you?
It does when I sit next to my dad watching Ericsson run. Yeah.
Maybe he needs to lay off the coffee.
Yeah, that was tough. But I had a boring day for myself yesterday. But like you said, you're nervous for Dad and the team, and to make sure we get the sponsors in there, and a lot of pressure to deliver and do right by Dan and Group 1001 and everybody. So, it was a lot of pressure to get them in, but. I have to focus on the 98 this month. Sitting next to Dad wasn't ideal for sure.
Still gross. You speak of your dad. We're talking about your driving. However many 500s left. You're doing the stock car thing for a while. At some point, you stop racing, right? You're an Andretti, so you'll probably be like 86 when you do it. But there is a family business here. Is there any? I know you have your other businesses, but like you say, they kind of, for the most part, can operate on their own. post driving, is there some other business you want to kind of be more hands-on in, or is there any interest in maybe stepping into the family business and being involved in, I mean, not just the IndyCar team, Andretti Global is called Andretti Global for a reason. There's series all over the world.
I mean, yeah, never say never. I don't really let myself look at, beyond what I'm contracted to do, and so I'm like super focused on that. But I really think, seeing where the stock car thing goes is big for me. And then from there, as far as like being involved in the team stuff, I mean, we'll have to talk to everybody about it and see. But I think I'm more wired like my grandfather, like the driving part of it, and like I love business and I love stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't have an answer about getting involved in all of that, because there's a lot of days like yesterday I don't envy Dad, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like, so it's yeah.
It's not a hard yes, it's not a hard no.
Yeah, I mean,
it just kind of depends on a lot of things, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we'll see. So yeah.
Look, you've done Indy, you've done a lot of sports car racing, now you're doing the stock car stuff. I'm sure there's Daytona 500s in your future. Any bucket list races that you haven't done that you'd love to try?
That I haven't done, man.
We've raced Down Under together.
Yeah, I've done that. We've run Le Mans, we've run 24, Daytona, we've run Sebring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want to drive at Spa. Like that looks
Yeah.
cool. But Europe, yeah, I mean that ship sailed a long time ago. But I don't know. Like honestly, a lot of the Cup stuff, really. Like I just want to drive some of their marquee event. Like I got to run Dover. That was pretty cool. But yeah, Daytona 500 would be cool. The double would be cool, stuff like that. So it's cool watching Larson do what he does, and he's cool as a cucumber. We leave the garage, and by the time I shower in my bus, I turn the TV on. He's in Charlotte, so it's. I've done a lot of doubles in my past. It's just not to this extent, but I run like I run Lime Rock in the morning in the sports car, and then flew to Nashville to race the IndyCar and stuff like that same day. But it's fun. I mean, I like working on the logistics and the pressure to nail the times and stuff. But to see him be competitive in both is pretty cool.
It's so funny, man. I feel stupid, but I hadn't even really thought about that yet. As for you, is that something that you've obviously put a little bit of thought into doing, maybe?
I think we need to get to the end of this year to be like, okay, because I don't like to just do things to do it.
No,
I want
for
to
sure.
be competitive.
You don't want to just go there.
Yeah, I want to be competitive. So, the thing about Daytona is it's kind of like if you come into a good scenario, even though it's new to Kyle, he's fast, right? And he's comfortable. And there's no preconceived notions of getting a comfortable car like we used to have. He's just driving it. And so I think if I just go and do it with the right scenario, it could be pretty cool. So there's a lot of stuff I'll look at.
Because John Andretti was the first guy to do it, right? He kind of started the tradition of doing it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So and then the best record I think is Tony Stewart. The best average.
Yeah, I think that'd be right.
Yeah. So we'll see if Kyle is aiming for that. So it's cool to watch.
It's very cool to watch. Speaking of Tony Stewart, I know he's a good buddy of yours. You raced against him in SRX. You beat him in SRX, which I'm sure you love to remind him. He's pivoted now to drag racing. Probably one of the only things that you haven't tried yet. Any interest in doing that?
No, I'm good. He's a next level
lunatic.
That's the word.
Yeah.
That's outside the box kind of guy. So, but he's just so competitive in everything he does. So that's another one that's cool to watch. But my grandfather paved the way for just being diversified in his driving portfolio. So that was cool to watch, and just running on the dirt in the middle of the week, and then F1 on the weekend. Pretty cool.
It's the best, man. I wish the sport was still a little more flexible like that.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And you could do more of that stuff. Coming here to the Speedway, obviously a lot of family history here. I think we've talked about this before. Like it's kind of that double-edged sword, right? Coming here as an Andretti, there's a lot of pros, a lot of cons. You're about to start your 19th race. When you come through the tunnel here, I mean, what is the overwhelming feeling for you? Positive, negative, being in that position?
I think if it's negative, I won't come back. I think it nets out positive.
Right.
Let's put it that way. So, but we've been through some stuff here, but we've been lucky. We've been unscathed as a family and stuff like that. So, but results-wise, if you take out the elusive win, we're pretty good at the Speedway. So I want to get back to form here. That's my big focus. You know, like I said, it's been a few years since we've been on pole and qualifying good. And so, like yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, I think our ceiling was probably 11 to 12, or right around Colton. So to be starting further back is a little frustrating because it's more track dependent now, track position dependent now. So all the minute details matter way more now. So ins and out laps, 60 to 0 speeds, pit stops, restarts. That's actually what I like about stock car racing, because you're always in combat. Like, you're always fighting somebody, and if you think you're not good, you pass 3 guys in the same lap. It's like you're always racing, you know. So here it's it's tougher once it settles in to make ground, but that's why qualifying is important.
But I mean, look, we saw Joseph win from, I think it was 17th last year.
Sure, yeah.
Hunter-Ray, when we were all teammates together, won from 19th. It can be done.
For
You're
sure.
working with Craig Hampson this month, which is pretty
awesome.
exciting. Tell me about that relationship and how that's been going.
It's a natural for sure. Like, we sit down and literally the one morning we didn't even say a word. He gave me the plan. I said, "Oh, like I point, yep, this, yep, okay, yeah." We're just kind of like boom with our experience here, and so it's been pretty cool.
He's a guy that comes with an incredible amount of experience here, like I just said. He's been at the team, away from the team, back at the team a couple times, I think, now.
I've had a funny, I don't want to say run-in, experience with him already. So I went out with a change he made, and came right back in, and he goes, "What was that?" I said, "I felt it on the apron. No engineer ever believes me. I don't like it. Let's go back." And he goes, "Your grandfather told me that back in the day." I'm like, "So you trust me?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right." Cool.
I'm pretty sure I actually texted you after that the same thing. I'm like, "Why'd you come in?" He's like, "I didn't like it on the apron." I'm like, "On the apron you didn't like it? Come on."
It's real, man. It's real. It's real.
Well, good. I'm glad that he believes you.
Yeah. 'Cause you don't.
Runs in the family. Oh God, no.
Yeah. Okay,
I would have absolutely made you go back out.
Yeah.
Another person on the stand working with you this month, Robbie Wickens. Kind of a cool story there. Tell me how that came about and kind of what position and what role Robbie's playing for you this month.
Yeah, so Craig and I talked, and we were really diving into a lot of stuff that helped him at the orange team, as he likes to call it. But and one of them was just analysis by Robert, and I think his work ethic is just incredible, you know. And I think that's why he's made the strides he's made with his scenario, because I mean it's just admirable, you know. And so him and I are on the phone till 10:30 p.m. and just talking about every little detail, because like I said, that it's not one thing. Like, we got to find one thing to be fast. It's everything.
100 little things.
It is, and he's on it, man. And I cannot do one thing with the throttle, brake, or the wheel that he's not going to call me and be like, "Why'd you do that?"
Yeah.
And it's cool because we talk about every little thing, and it matters. It really matters.
Yeah, I mean, you can see why he's such a good competitor, because
exactly.
It's devils in the details and he fights for it.
Exactly.
Look, man, you know the old saying, 19th one's a charm. So I'm gonna cheers to you this terrible drink you made me drink, and wish you all the best.
Appreciate it.
In the 108th running.
Thank
coming
you.
up in a few days, buddy.
Thank you.
Cheers.